Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Hello, bear with me just for a minute. This is the first time trying to do it. That's not my guest. That's my laptop. I'm just trying to remove myself. Hold on. There we go. Right. Hello, Maria. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me on my second official podcast, Going Alone. Every day's a school day. It's a bit of a learning curve, but I am getting there. I'm starting to learn about the StreamYard, working with the laptop, working with the phone. Hopefully, keep your fingers crossed for me, everything goes well tonight. As you will know, I do have a guest tonight. I also have a cup of tea. 27 quid. So, I'm not going to talk too much myself because tonight's not about me. Tonight's about my amazing guest. So I'm going to try and bring him on. I'm not even going to talk about the book. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to bring him on and we'll let him share his story with us. What an amazing guy. What an inspirational story. And I love these sorts of stories. So I'm going to sit and drink my cup of tea and just listen to him. Right, so let's go. Let's see if this works. Yes. Oh, there's no sound. I can't hear you. Oh, there's no sound. Why has that happened? I was just talking to him and there was sound, folks. Try it again. Come on now. Can anybody else hear him? Why has that happened? Anybody ideas? Go out and come back in, tell him. No sound. Can you hear me? Can anybody in the chat hear me? Right, so you can hear me, but you can't hear Ant. Oh my god. You, Paul, but not. Nah, so folk can't hear you. It's important. Your audio was also removed. Add yourself back and use the layout buttons. No, he's not muted. I just checked. Sorry, folks. Bear with me 2 secs. Didn't think there's any speakers. I was just talking to him. Backstage. Give me a minute, folks. Talk amongst yourselves.
Are we up now? Technology.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. Get that sweaty brow.
Yeah, got there in the end, eh?
Yeah, that's all that matters, mate. That is all that matters. Right. Thank you very much for taking the time out, mate, and coming and chatting with me tonight and sharing your story. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to sit and drink my cup of tea, and then I'll let you share your story with everybody. Aye, simple as that.
No probs. Cheers, Paul. Right, yeah. Well, my name's Anthony. Obviously from Manchester. You'll probably be able to tell by my accent. Born in the early 80s. You know, it was a bit of depression at the time. You know, it was a bit of a deprived city at the time, Manchester. You know what I mean? A lot of you know, no jobs about, what have you. So I was born to a teenage mum with my dad. They separated fairly young. I then went to live with my nana and my granddad in an inner city area in Manchester, and I was brought up by them. From an early age, from around about the age of 7, started following Manchester City Football Club. I was always around drinking drugs. There was a lot of drinking drugs in the area. You know, in the 80s, I suppose it was nationwide. Heroin was on the scene. Crack cocaine has started to come on the scene, and yeah, and you know, the country was up and down, was blighted. Manchester was no different. You know, there was also, you know, as I come into sort of like around about the age of 10, there was a big gang culture in Manchester at the time. You know, in like, sort of like the late 80s and the early 90s. So it was you know, it was a rough time. But like I say, you know, I started following Manchester City, and that was where my passion started. You know, started following City, and into my early teens, as with a lot of football fans know, a day at the football involves a day in the pub as well. It was, you know, it was, you know, the day evolved around the pub, around drinking. So I was drinking from an early age, and I suppose, you know, the addictive personality was sort of in my genes, I suppose, already. You know, my mum was an alcoholic. She died at the age of 44. There was drug addiction right in my family, and you know, but you never see it coming when, you know, when you're that age. So off I went, you know, drinking. You know, started off on a Friday night in the park with your mates from school, you know, and then went on to Saturday at the football. And you know, before I sort of left school, I was drinking 3 times a week already. But I didn't think nothing of it. There was nothing, you know, I was no different from most people in the area at the time. And then, as you know, left school, went on to get a job, and started following City home and away. Then the drinking sort of like become more prevalent. You know, I was doing it a lot more. Found myself getting involved in the football hooligan scene. Then, you know, I was again from an early age, I was sort of attracted to this sort of demeanour, what you know, the football lads had. You know, the respect that they had, and sort of the thrill of the, you know, the thrill of the fight, I suppose. And I was, you know, before long, I was addicted to that lifestyle as well. And it just all sort of rolled into one. In the sort of like the late 90s, when I was sort of like leaving school into the 2000s, you know, cocaine was on the scene, and it was normal to go out to the football, drinking, cocaine. It was all part of the, you know, it was all part of the working class man. That was your Saturday, that was your weekend. You went out to the football, you got on it. It was simple as that. You know, we was getting into trouble up and down the country, and you know, there was nickings and charge sheets. Around about the same time as well, when I was about 19, 20, I started working as a doorman in and around Manchester city centre. So at the time, you know, I was using cocaine pretty heavily, and drinking as well. And this carried on while I was on the door, just seeing it as an opportunity. Really, just it was a free. It was like, sort of like a free night out for me. You know, we was taking the drugs off people coming in, and we was using them. And that's just, you know, it was the way it was. You know, and this went on right through my 20s. You know, in and out of trouble. I remember that, you know, I had a relationship breakdown where I had a son. So then, you know, we were separated, went back home to my nana's. That wasn't enough to stop me. I lost job after job. Still wasn't enough to stop me. And then, you know, I ended up on a couple of serious charges in my early 30s. And I was looking at 5 years in prison for violent disorder. Luckily enough for me, that got through out of court, you know, and everyone said, you know, you've got a second chance in life, man, you know. But no, you know, it wasn't, again, I was still binging on cocaine and alcohol. And at this point, I don't think anything would have stopped me. You know, as long as I was getting through the days and sort of like getting through week by week, you know, I just seemed content in causing chaos, you know, around my life.
Causing chaos. Hold it there, mate, because you're crackling again. Remember where you're at. I'm just going to remove you and bring you back in.
No worries.
Are you able to do it, actually? Hold on. Sorry, folks. I know I wasn't sure if you were getting the bad connection there as well, but I was getting it. So,
any better now?
Nah. Yeah, these are getting the crackling as well. Sorry, folks. Leave completely. Anne, are you able to see me? Oh, someone's on YouTube. How you doing, my man? Right, let's. I talk, you will sort it. My wife just says.
Any better now?
That's better.
I'm back on, yeah.
Sorry, mate. It's a bad connection. Right, causing chaos.
Yeah. So yeah, just causing chaos. And sort of like a few things in my life sort of triggered me into sort of like sprung me where, you know, I just let loose, and I just sort of like, you know, I was on self-destruct. You know, I remember my mum died in sort of like my mid-20s, you know, my natural mum. And I sort of like went off the rails a little bit there. I was causing chaos, you know. I was in trouble week in, week out, fighting in and out, you know, in pubs on the street. I'd go missing for days on end, you know, I'd go missing for like 3 or 4 days. No one would be able to get hold of me. Fuck knows where I was, you know, even I can't remember half the time. You know, I've ended up in hospital a couple of times. And again, tried to sort myself out, tried to, you know, live the good life and live the clean life. And it just wasn't happening. And yeah, and I had a few issues again in my early 30s in my personal life. And again, it was the death of my nana who brought me up this time, and a few other things that I had going on. But this time it was just worse than ever. I remember racking up debts of, you know, going into the thousands of pounds. I remember I was homeless. I ended up squatting in my nana who'd passed away. I ended up squatting in her house. I shouldn't have been there. You know, I had nowhere to go. And I probably hit the biggest binge in my life, where it, you know, for days and days on end, you know, and I was having large amounts of drugs, and I ended up in a sort of, I was in a psychosis state. I was hallucinating. I was talking to myself. I didn't know what was fucking real and what wasn't real. You know, I remember, you know, the blinds were shut and I was sat there just fucking talking away. You know, my auntie was actually with me in the house at the time. She was fucking frightened to death. She didn't know what was going on. She thought I'd lost the plot. You know, well, I lost the plot because you know, I think if a doctor would have seen me at the time, you know, it would have been a straitjacket for me. It would have been off. You know, I was seeing fucking dogs. You know, the police was coming. I was having conversations with fucking thin air. It was a bad time. You know, it hit me hard, and for the first time in my life, it was the first time. I mean, I knew we had a problem, but it's probably the first time when I realised, you know, you're fucking addicted to cocaine here. And it, you know, I had my back against the wall. It was like, I know I was a mess. You know, I kept ballooning up and down with the binges. You know, when my weight went up to 19 stone at one point. But you know, I know I dropped right back down to sort of like 15, 16 stone within months, and it was just constant. You know, I was really unhealthy. You know, if I would have carried on, I probably would have been I probably wouldn't have been here now if I would have carried on for much longer. That's how bad it was. I believe that's how bad it was. And with me being in this state, I wasn't having a relationship I had with my kids. You know, at this point, I've got 3 children now, and that's what was killing me. You know, the death of my nana. You know, I had sort of like no one to sort of like guide me and point me in the right direction. I was missing my kids. I knew what I was doing was wrong. I always knew it was wrong. But now I knew, you know, this is it now. It got to the point where I was having suicidal thoughts. You know, didn't want to move in the morning. You know, every morning I'd, you know, sort of like come out of the house, you know, I'd swear off it. But as soon as, you know, it started wearing off, the craving was there, and it was just a fucking vicious cycle, you know, going round in circles. And, you know, most people have had, you know, addictions, and they'll know what I'm saying, you know, the circle where, you know, they don't want to be there, but at the same time, they just can't fucking help it. They're addicted, and that's it. And that's how it was for me. You know, it's no different. And I remember I still had a job down at the time. I kept the job. I don't know. I worked for a Sikh family in Manchester. And I never forget. You know, they seen that I was in a bad way. They seen I was in a lot of pain. And they managed to, you know, they said there's an house to rent. You know, if you want to move in. And I remember I snapped it up and yeah, and I moved in. There was nothing. All I had was a telly, a few pots and pans, and a bed. And I just went that night with nothing, you know. And I just got in there. I just what, you know, and something sort of like clicked that very night. You know, I was drinking that night, and something just clicked in me. I thought, I can't do this here. I can't do this here. This is, you know, this is the fresh start. It's either now or never.
And
you know,
crackling again.
Crackling, mate. I'll come back out, come back in.
Yeah, just keep doing it, mate. The stream will be live.
No problem, mate.
Sorry, but sorry, folks. 2 secs. Now that I know that you can hear the crackling, as soon as I hear it, I'll stop the thing, and I'll just get Ant back in.
All good again. Okay, yeah. Right, yeah, but was that so yeah, you know, new house. This time it was different for me. You know, I was having, you know, I was near death. I was sort of like suicidal thoughts. and I took the plunge, and I got myself to Cocaine Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, and I got stuck into my meetings. Got a sponsor. I just took it serious from there on in. I've done my 12 steps, and within a matter of weeks, my life was changing. I had a different outlook. After say 2 months, the cravings had stopped. I was feeling better. I was out. I was running. I was training. I found myself back in the boxing gym after a while. I used to box unlicensed, sort of like through my early 30s and what have you. So I found myself back there, and I felt free for the first time in a long time. I felt free, and I felt like I did in my teens. I felt like I was me again. For a long time, I didn't even recognise myself. Even when I think back now, I was unrecognisable. I was out of control. I was off the rails. I was up the wall. It was a crazy time. But I was back on fucking track now. I was loving life. My kids, I remember the first time I went and picked my daughter up. She was 2 at the time. She'd come running out of the house with a suitcase. That she was going to stay at my house. And fucking hell, it still chokes me up now, that feeling, like, fucking hell, this is, I was the happiest I've been for a long, long time. My son was back there with me, my other daughter, managed to start seeing my other daughter as well. And it was just all like dad's that weekend, it was great, ordering pizzas and sat around watching Disney films. It was, life was fucking good, but, the best it's been for a long, long time. And like I say, picked my boxing back up, and things just went from strength to strength. Training again, got back into my boxing unlicensed, ended up winning sort of like an unlicensed title. Decided to give the amateur ranks a go at the age of 35. At the time I was. Luckily for me, they'd extended it to 40. It used to be 35 cut off for the amateurs. They'd extended it, so decided to have a go at the amateurs, and applied to become a professional boxer. I'd lost a total of 7 stone from the heaviest, and due to lockdown and everything else, things was put back. I got knocked back the first time, but there was a new drive in me. Something had changed in me, in my mindset. And I just, if I can turn me back on the drugs and the drink and that lifestyle, then I believed in me. I can do anything now. I could do anything if I put my mind to it. I could do anything. People was calling me fucking mad and crazy. I said, Anthony, come on, you're not going to be a professional boxer, mate. You're too old. You've not got the experience. You've done fucking well enough. I was like, listen, I'm fucking going to do it. And I carried on. I think the fucking boxing board, the British Boxing Board got sick of fucking hearing off me at the time, but yeah, I managed to pass my interview. They said, we'll come down, we'll have a look at you. Remember them coming down to the gym, watched me spar with another pro, and said, yeah, you've got yourself in shape, you can box, you're fit enough. I remember when I first got the beard, the first time I went for a run, I couldn't run a mile. Now I was doing 2 half marathons a week, breezing them, and it was, it was good. I just believed that I could do, whatever I put my mind to. And then last year, at the age of 37, I made my professional boxing debut, in front of thousands of people at the Bowlers Arena in Manchester. So
amazing.
Yeah, it's sort of like a dream come true. I believe it was, sort of like a reward for sort of turning my life round and doing what was right, maybe showing a lot of other people what can be done as well,
More than you're probably ever going to realise, mate. That's the truth. More than you'll ever probably realise.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Like, see, like I say to you, I was reading a wee bit about your story and stuff. I didn't delve into it too much because I wanted to save it for the night to hear it.
Yeah.
That transformation that you made for that time in your fucking nan's house, climbing the walls, fucking hallucinating, getting in trouble and all the time, down and out, giving up on life. Now fucking look at you. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you're crackling again. Hold on a minute. Go. Sing us a song.
Sing a song.
You're crackling.
I'm crackling.
Isn't that amazing though? I love that. See, honestly, like stories like that, I can sit and listen to people's stories like that all day, every day, and quite happily shut up for the whole duration. Some of you will be happy about that. But I honestly can. Right. I think my wife is maybe doing it.
Is it gone again?
There we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Okay, but look how quickly you're leaving and coming back in. So it's only a few seconds.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem at all. Aye, like you're talking about that mindset.
Yeah.
And it's similar to mine. See, like, and that's why I think I love it. When I meet people with recovery stories, and other people that are in recovery, I'll relate to this as well. I mean, you hear people's stories, you can relate to. Certainly for me, I can relate to the mindset for being where you were and no being worth anything, no bothering your arse, and then flipping it. So again, it's like it's possible, and that's the important thing. That's what people need right now. They need to know that it is possible to get off the heroin, get off the cocaine, get off the drink, get off all the shit that you're on that's killing you, and you can still go and do something. And what I love about it is your age.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I love about it. Because I was fucking 30 when I joined the Scots Guards.
Yeah.
That's fucking, you're a fucking granddad. Like, and you're, what, 35 did you say?
No, I'm 39 in a couple of weeks. Well, a couple of months.
That's mental. That's mental.
40 next year. Proper granddad age.
Exactly. You know, and it's like obviously I'm a new fan of yours anyway, and I'll be following all your boxing fights as they go on, and I'm sure everybody on my social media that's watching this tonight and that, they'll all become fans of yours as well. Everybody will be fucking rooting for you. What I wanted to say to you was, or ask you, when I got off heroin, I flipped my addiction for heroin to running.
Yeah.
And you spoke about it earlier, saying that you've got an addictive personality as well. I was in a school yesterday actually talking about it. And there was a young guy that was boxing. He had just taken up boxing and stuff. So you can have positive addictions.
Mm.
And I wanted to ask you, do you think that happened to you?
100%. There's got to be something going on in my life. You know, I've got to be driven by something. So when the drinking, the drugs, and the football was put to a side, it was training and boxing, and that's what it is now. So I suppose it's an healthy addiction, but still, you know, it's still an addiction. You know,
yeah.
But, you know, I believe I remember talking to somebody a while ago, and he was talking about addicts in general, and he said to me, he said, I believe it's a gift. He said, you know, addicts. He said, if you look at addicts in history, they've always been, they've been, you know, really good at something. They've excelled at something. You know, look at Paul Gascoigne, for instance. You know, genius. You know, and again, addicts, George Best. You know, just a couple of instances. You know, yourself. You know, you know. So I believe we've got to use it to our advantage.
Yeah.
And that's what we've got to do, you know.
And that's what we're doing, and it's amazing. Like somebody was asking there, mate. Sorry, John Peake was asking when your next fight is.
It's not been announced yet, but I'm hoping it's going to be sort of around about the end of July.
Right.
The end of July.
You got to kick his ass.
I hope so, mate. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I always aim to.
Yeah, he's got to be younger than you, is he?
Well, you would have thought so. I don't think there's many. I don't think there's many sort of like older than me. Although my last fight, the guy was older than me, believe it or not.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing it a lot longer. He's had I think he's had something like 100 and odd professional fights. But he was in his early 40s. Yeah.
So for your mindset now, right?
Yeah.
This positive mindset that you've got.
Yeah.
That's you're fully committed to the boxing. You're a professional boxer now. Where do you take it? Do you just go and keep going until somebody fucking walks up to you and says, "Right, Ant, you're fucking 49 now. You're 50 next week. It's time to cut the boxing on the heat"? Or are you just have you got a goal that you're aiming for? Or are you just going to just keep going until you can't do it any longer?
I suppose you know. I mean, I'd love to carry on forever, you know, but it's it can be a dangerous sport, you know. We all know that. And I know I'm a late comer, so I'm not going to put myself in any sort of real danger. So I suppose if I get the feeling where, you know, I could start, you know, could really get hurt here, or I'm not, you know, I'm maybe not up to it as much now. I'll probably have my gloves up. But my goal is sort of I want to win an area title. I want to win the central area title. What's my area title? You know, I'm never going to be world champion or British champion or anything like that. You know, but maybe an area title. You know, even if I fight for it, you know, if I get there, you know, I've done it. If not,
crackling again, mate. Sorry.
Crackling. I'll come back.
Sorry. I wasn't wanting to interrupt him there, but I could hear the crackling coming in. But look, what 15, 20 seconds? It's only taken for it to come back in and back out. So it's not too bad, is it?
Yeah, not too bad, yeah. Back
there
on again. Yeah, so I mean, I've got little goals, you know. But yeah, I think, you know, if I keep myself fit and I look after myself, you know, I still believe I've got a few years in me, you know, and as long as I give it my best shot, I'm not going to have any regrets, you know. I never dreamt of anything like this 4 or 5 years ago. You know, I was down and out, just to be sort of like clean and you know, and have time with my kids. That was my purpose, you know. Everything else is just comes it's just a bonus for me.
Amazing. I just want to echo what you just said there, mate, right? Because, like I said, I was in the school yesterday and I'm telling the kids exactly what you said there. And the fact that you just say that, it's like, makes me feel happy because I say that to them, right? I'm telling them to follow their dreams, right? And try. Dream big and try. And as long as they try in life, whether they fail or not, doesn't really matter. It's about trying their hardest and applying themselves and following their dreams. That's what it's about. Because some of them will fail. So, you know, you kind of tell all these kids, have massive dreams and you're going to achieve all your dreams, all years, because it's no reality. Some people do fail, but it's about the trying. You know what it'd be, fucking 80-year-old looking back on life and thinking, what if? You know?
Exactly, yeah. Exactly, mate. It's you know, people say that, you know, did you have any regrets in life? You know, there's things that maybe, you know, I'd want to be different, but I think the only real regrets we can have is what we've not done. You know, you can't regret things that you've done. It's only things that you haven't done, you know. So I'm here now. I'm giving it my best shot, you know. If I don't win the area title, well, you know, it is what it is. I'll know that I've given it my all. You know, I'd rather do that than, you know, not be boxing at all. And, you know, we're wondering, you know, could he have, or couldn't he have? If you give it, you know, just give it your all. You know, I don't believe that, you know, no one's got anything to lose by chasing your dream. You've got nothing to lose. You know, if you've got a dream and you want to go for it, just go for it.
Aye, 100%. I think my wife had put up there about have you got social media?
I have, yeah. I'm on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, yeah.
Right. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, folks. So he's got 3 accounts. I will get them after this live stream, and I will put them either on the heading of this live video or in the comments. I think I'll be able to put it in the heading. So go over and follow them, please. Every single one of you. It's amazing. I'm going to be standing in the fucking living room, right? Watching you on the telly. At some time, you're going to be on the telly, be on my phone. I'm going to be fucking calm. Like, I love watching the boxing, right? But I love watching the boxing when I'm fucking rooting for somebody. Not like for me. That's where it's at for me when you're really fucking passionate and wanting somebody to win. And I've got a few boxer friends who I'm like that way. And you're a new one, so aye, fucking go and kick his ass, mate.
You know, I meant to say, I've met your dad. I met your dad at one of my fights, you know.
My dad?
Yeah, it was at one of my fights, yeah.
No.
Sure it was. Might have been a friend, or I'm not sure.
What was his name?
I forgot now. Is it Ian? Not Ian, is it? No.
Aye, it is, aye.
Ian, yeah. I met him at one of my fights. I remember him because he was telling me he's come down. He was in that, told me about you. I spoke to him after the fight. He said, yeah, I've come down from Scotland, got to train down. He met up with a few of my pals that was there. And yeah, he had a good night as far as I know.
No, wait a minute, and it wasn't it's not my dad, right? Can you know who it is? It's Ian Kennedy.
No, I know Ian as well, yeah. It might have been Ian then, actually. It might have been Ian, it could have been.
I'm going to ask my dad tonight. I'm going to phone him.
Yeah, it could have, I'm sure he's your dad. I know Ian. I spoke to Ian as well. He's from your neck of the woods, yeah.
That's mental. Small world, eh?
Yeah, it's a small world, yeah.
I'm going to phone my dad tonight. See, like, I'll send him this over. And say, do you recognise that guy? And if he says, oh, I can now, I spoke to him. Like, fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean, is an Ibs fan, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure I remember him telling me that is your dad, like, yeah. I remember him telling me about you that night. It could be. I might be wrong, but I'm sure it was.
That's mental. See, as soon as you said Ian there, I was like, what the fuck? Oh, fucking hell. Right, alright, questions. Let me have a look. So, did I put that's his Instagram, folks. Right? Everybody go over and follow his Instagram, please. Is any of your kids showing signs of being? Can you read these things that I'm putting up, Ant?
No.
Oh, you're crackling, man.
I'm crackling.
Come on, folks. Ask the questions. If you've got any questions for him, ask him now when he's on a live video, and then you're going to get an answer for him live. Sing us a song.
Back on. Are we back on? Clear. No, I can just about see it. It's small, so if you can see it, you can read it out to me.
Is any of your kids showing signs of being talented in the sport?
No, I've tried to get my lad into it a little bit. He's not really took to it just yet. I do keep my kids active. I take my lad, to get my lad out in the gym, get him running. And my girls, they enjoy swimming and what have you. But I don't think I'd push him to to sort of into the sport, I think, you know, as long as they're doing something and they're enjoying it, I think that's what's important.
Yeah, exactly. And they're obviously going to be massively proud of you now as well. And like, do they know? Do they know how dark your life was and like how much you've turned round, or do you try and distance them for
it? The girls don't. The girls are obviously a bit too young to sort of like realise. But my lad's 15 now, so he's obviously seen a lot of it. And you know, he probably reads. You know, he's read a lot that's been in the papers and what have you, and certain stuff.
Yeah.
So he picks up on it, you know, and he comes to my fights. You know, I take my lad to my fights with me. You know, he enjoys coming to the boxing and what have you. So yeah, I hope I make him proud. You know.
Aye, 100%. You definitely are. Paul's asking on YouTube, what part of Manchester are you from? I have family from. I can't even pronounce that, Ant. Right? It looks like
Wythenshawe.
There you go.
Wythenshawe, yeah, South Manchester. That. I was actually born in. I brought up in the north side of Manchester, in Miles Platting, just near Ancoats. But I do have family in Wythenshawe. That's where my son lives. Actually, funny enough, Benchill.
Right. John is asking how many professional fights you've had.
I've had 3 up to now. Just training for my 4th now.
And that the 4th one's going to be the end of July, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully the end of July. Yeah.
Here, what you could ask. This is what about this for a shout, right? You go and knock that guy out at the end of July, and then have a wee trip up to Edinburgh, and we'll get Ian and my dad on that along. Like,
yeah,
you can come to the Fringe.
Yeah. I'm up for going on the road, no problem.
World's Maria. At what point did you click it was sink or swim time? Was it a specific moment or date or something, or someone said? Do you remember? Was it an internal thing, or was it somebody?
No, I remember it. It was when I was when I was squatting in my nana's house, and the truth of it is it's when I was in so much pain that I wanted to end my life. I just couldn't go on the way I was. I knew my back was against the wall, basically. I couldn't go on living if it was the way I was. So it was either sort of end it or get clean and sort it out. And it was that simple for me.
Yeah. And then look, like, for that moment, mate, look what you achieved.
Yeah.
For that sink or swim moment where it was a definitive one way or the other.
Yeah.
That fork in life, really, because that's, you know, it's
this is where I realised it was a selfish addiction, because for years, you know, sort of like for 15, 20 years, I hurt everybody around me, you know, and it wasn't enough to stop. It was only when I was in that much pain that I was able to, you know, I realised that I had to stop. You know, and that's the honest truth of it. You know, it was only when I was in that much pain, even though I never set out to hurt anybody. You know, it used to kill me inside. You know, to see people when they was upset. You know, when I'd go missing and they was worried sick, or they seen the deterioration of me. You know, it was always, you know, that was it hurt me, but it was never enough. I couldn't put it down until. And, you know, there was something inside me that said, you've had enough now. I suppose that's the point. That's the point of most addicts, where they either go one way or the other.
Yeah, I was the same. That's exactly the same for me, mate. I really, as far as a human being hitting rock bottom,
yeah,
for me being fucking suicidal, you can't get any lower than that, because the next step lower than that is no fucking being here. So that sink or swim moment I had as well, it was that amazing choice that I made.
Yeah.
Thankfully, like you did. You know, that we're still thankfully here to fucking tell the tale and try and help other people with our stories and stuff, and it's amazing. Wait a minute. Donna is asking, do you have a very strict diet? Are you very disciplined?
Yeah. I do. Obviously, when I'm in fight camp and I've got, get down to weight, sort of like restricted to calories. Start obviously counting the calories, what I can eat. Eating clean. There's no sugar. Sort of like no crackling.
And I sort of knew that it would be strict, disciplined anyway. You have to be disciplined to be a pro boxer, and that applies with the diet as well, doesn't it? So. Yes, it's rare. I didn't even have to move. I just have to sit here. It's no rate.
What?
Yeah, sorry, mate.
No props. So yeah. I do try and eat clean and sort of like restrict the calories and what have you, and I just eat as best as I can, really.
My wife's asking, what weight do you fight in?
I sort of like I'll go between super middleweight and light heavyweight, which is sort of like 12 to 12.5 stone.
Right.
So if you imagine, I was at my heaviest, I was 19 stone, so quite a drop to come down to.
19?
I ballooned up to 19 stone at one point, yeah. I was, for most of my 20s, I was walking around about 17.5 stone. And then sort of like into my early 30s, I ballooned right up to 19 stone.
Suppose when you're working on the doors and all that, you must have been a fucking big guy, yeah?
Well, I was a big guy, mid sort of like through my 20s to my late 20s. And as sort of the drink and what have you took hold of me, I wasn't doing any exercise and what have you. I sort of like I went a bit of a mess, really overweight. I think there's some pictures of me on my social media and on my Twitter and what have you. I'm sort of like where I was, I'm where I got to. And it's like, even for me to look at, I'm like, wow, was it really that big?
Yeah, it's crazy. Would he work in would he work in boxing gym or open one? Think he help. Here's a good question for you. This is right. Put him on the spot, darling. Aye, why don't we? Right, he's only going to be here once. So my wife's asking, did Jack Catterall deserve the win?
100%.
Now, I've got Jack on my LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And I messaged him to say exactly that night.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I'm Scottish, and I just said, mate, just so you know, like, I just watched that fight with my wife, and you were absolutely fucking robbed. And that was it was disgusting to watch, mate. Really, it was disgusting. The thing about that as well, I'm not wanting you to, like, you speak your mind about it, right? And so will I. But, you know, when you're all these kids that we're trying to influence to maybe, like, follow their dreams. Like, yesterday, the lad wants to be a boxer. Like, what does that say to that young lad just starting out in boxing? Right? They watches that fight, right? And then the judges have fucking done that. It just, it definitely angered the whole boxing world.
Yeah, the only thing I can say is it wasn't the first time, and it's probably not going to be the last time. Up and down the country, if you go to amateur shows, these young kids, and the same happens to them. They get robbed. It's happened from day dot, I suppose. I'm not saying it's right. It's boxing.
What do you think? What do you think could be done, right, to rectify it? Like, is there something that could be done so that it doesn't happen again?
Well, I think once you get a decision like that, I think the judges have got to be held accountable for that, and just sort of like explain how they've scored that, this when if you're watching it on Sky Sports, you get experts or so-called experts that are ringside, and you see their scorecards, and then, you know, you get, as soon as he said, you know, it was a split decision, I was like, you know, have they worked this out, split decision, you know? And then the scorecards come in. Yeah, you know, it's disappointing, it's angry, and that's just us. That's how we feel. Imagine how poor Jack felt, you know.
Yeah.
He's trained, and this was his opportunity. He's waited and waited, you know, the story behind it as well, you know, he waited and waited. He even gave Josh Taylor the chance to go and unify his division and held back. And then when he got the chance, you know what, he trained that hard for. He went and, I know, and in most people's opinion, won the fight, and then to be robbed must have been so disheartening for him.
Yeah. I'm a huge Jack Catterall fan now. I know. Yeah. I can't wait. Like, I'll be following his journey in the boxing as well, and I'll be rooting for him on everything.
By the same rule, you know, don't take nothing away from you know, Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor's been a great world champion, and at the end of the day, you know, it wasn't him that got the decision. You know, I think maybe the only thing he could have come out after he watched it and sort of, you know, maybe offered the rematch. I think that would have been fair. But
he would have known, surely, that he got beat.
He would have thought so.
And then to come and voice and say that he won, and he won fairly and stuff, like, and that was what I think he's lost a lot of respect for a lot of people up in Scotland, especially in Scotland, you know, as a result of that. And you only have to look at the social media posts, and, you know, I'm on a lot of the boxing pages and stuff, and the social media went absolutely crazy that night. I know it was the judges, you know, it wasn't him, but, you know, the way he dealt with it afterwards, I think a lot of people got really quite angry, and he lost a lot of respect all across the UK, but especially in Scotland, he's lost a lot of respect for people for the way that the aftermath of it. He must have known. He must have known, because we were all watching it. The whole world was watching it.
Yeah, I mean, I believe he got told in his corner in the last round that he's going to go, you know, he's got to go and knock him out.
That's right.
So, you know, if he did get, you know, if that was the instruction from his corner, then, you know, and Jack's still standing there at the end of the 12th, then, you know, he's in his own mind, he must have realised, you know, that he's been beat. But
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
It's difficult when you're in there, you know, and he's just done 12 rounds, you know. I suppose you don't really know, because you know, you're in there, you're not watching from the outside. But I suppose after he watched the fight back, he should have sort of, like, you know, said maybe it was the wrong result.
Yeah, crackling again, right? I'll not keep you much longer. Come back in one last time, mate, because I just want to say thank you and that, right? Aye, sorry, folks. Aye, sorry about the crackling tonight. Dodgy connection somewhere, but at least the turnaround there, I'm leaving and coming back in, isn't very long. But we're not going to be on anyway. He's been at his work all day. He's been grafting. He does 10-hour shifts and shit. So yeah, I don't want to take much of his time, you know. Right? Aye, mate. The night. Thank you very much. Right? No, because I loved it, and everybody watching loved it and all, because it's just an inspirational story about, you know, like we said, you get to that choice.
Yeah.
We can choose to live, we can choose to turn our life around, and we can choose to fucking go and smash it and follow our dreams. And you've done that, and it's amazing. I love it. I can't believe when I still can't go over you saying when you said Ian. And I was like, I met your dad, and you said Ian. I'm like, what the fuck? I can't.
Yeah.
I'm phoning him right now, honestly. Karen Murdoch saying, being brought. I'll just read a few of the messages out before we go, mate. It's okay, Paul. Another good podcast. Thank you, Donna. Definitely new fans tonight. Can't wait to follow your career. That's for my wife, so she'll be watching with me.
Okay.
John says, thank you, Anthony. Great honesty. And my wife's asking, is your Facebook a friend request, or do you have a page? I think you've just got a personal page, haven't you?
I've got a friend request. I have got a page as well.
Have you? Right.
I've not been on it for a while, so I don't know if it's still up or not. I'll have to go and check it.
Aye, my wife will have already have checked it by the time you called this live video, right? Aye. So I'll put the links and stuff to your social media up on this post, mate, and then hopefully you'll have a whole new bunch of people. Not everybody watching to be Scotland, but there's a lot of Scottish people around the night that I ken I'll be rooting for you in the future as well, and we'll be watching you. 50-year-old fucking still going out and knocking people out.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, going to the ring with me walking stick.
Whacking them there. Absolute legend, Dan. I really appreciate it, mate. And obviously, I'll stay in touch with you anyway. You know, hopefully we'll get you up in August, up to Edinburgh to watch your Fringe play and stuff, and we'll have a pint or whatever. But
yeah, happy days. Yeah.
I hope the fight at the end of July goes really well. Aye. Yeah. Brilliant interview. Cheers, Paul. Everybody loved it, Ant. Everybody loved it.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah. I hope everyone took something from it.
Right, we go and get some sleep. Been fucking working all day.
That's it, mate. Yeah, been up since 4 o'clock. So.
Fucking hell. Right. Thank you very much, bro.
Thanks for having me, Paul. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
Yeah, pal.